Good evening. I want to welcome everyone to the June 27th meeting of the Charlotte City Council. We've got a full chamber tonight. I hope everybody's comfortable, and we're glad to have you here. So now I'm going to go back to our city manager's report. Mr. Carley, your last city manager report with Charlotte.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we did have planned tonight for you to hear very briefly on what I think is a very exciting program from our Community Relations Committee. And I would ask Mary and Macon if she would please come down and just share with you a few moments about a new effort they have focused on alternatives to police arrest of youth and young adults. Something that's very important to our community, and a new Council of Elders, which our Community Relations Committee has formed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, evening, I think it is.
Good evening.
I am 3 people today. I wanted to introduce you to the Council of Elders, which is an initiative, and first of all, let me say, I know many people have been hearing about the Council of Elders, and I thought it would be a great idea, especially for the city manager, to bring about something that is a result of some of the work he's done. But the Council of Elders is an initiative of the Crisis Response Committee of Charlotte-Mecklenburg Community Relations. The initiative came about after interviewing approximately 20 police officers during our process of interviewing for the police banquet. In those interviews, the officers over and over made the same statements. So from that came the initiation of the Council of Elders, which will serve as an alternative to police arrest of youth and young adults ages 16 to 35. We have required that this council have an initiative and a mission, and it was interesting. Out of the talking to 33 individuals that were invited to serve, what fell out of that, and you know what that process can be, were 15 individuals that were really committed with avenues and methods and availability. That was very important, and willingness to go through our process. They had to go through over 65 hours of training. Our training required them to take the court college, which is a 20-hour process, the basic mediation classes. They had to learn mediation. Some of us mediate in the courts, even now, in Court 4330. They had to take the Citizens Academy and go through the entire process, which means they had to ride with police and learn how to hold a gun. They had to take training in dismantling racism and implicit bias. The reason for this is because it's very difficult to sit in judgment, if you will, over cases and things that happen in our communities, all of our communities, and not have the equipment to do so. So the training was over 65 hours. All of them have gone through that. And they have decided to put our initiative into 3 areas, and that's prevention, intervention, and post-incarceration. Prevention, you may have been hearing about the peace walks that we do every month. We choose a community, mostly a high crime area, and we walk that community, shake hands, and talk with people and let them know that we're available. And we're available to serve them in many different areas as it relates to program that would help handle the issues that young people go through as they're getting older and getting into trouble for the most part. Those peace walks lead to the intervention, because in those walks, we get an opportunity to hear mothers, primarily mothers, but mothers and fathers, talk about what's going on with their young person. So now we're able to, through the peace walk, meet with the young people and work on some intervention processes. And more than likely, you've heard a very well publicized issue on post-incarceration, and that's where we're doing the expungement process. And we have actually initiated 570 expungements 225 of them came from our last expungement activity, May 31st, which garnished 225 citizens, or could be citizens, if in fact they had had their criminal records expunged. So that's a process that all comes about as a result of the Council of Elders. I want to yield 2 minutes that I have, one to Freddie Romero, for him to speak with you about what's happening, Council of Elders in his community, and the other minute to Beth Marlin to speak with you about the benefits of the Council of Elders in their communities. And I have asked them to limit it to 1 minute.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Ms. Maria Macon. Well, actually, our team has different type of goals, as Ms. Maria Macon was saying, and actually, I have a few of them marked over here. Our work will actually help and facilitate the cultural understanding in our communities. This is a very diverse place, and we have in our team a lot of different leaders from different communities, backgrounds. So this is going to contribute with that, and also it's going to help understand in a better way the specific needs of non-English communities in our area as well. Language and culture itself is a big barrier, and we can help with that as well. I mean, this is a great team, and we actually need the support. If we do a good work in our committee, we're going to actually help these community members, the new community members, to become more active and less dependable in our community. So this is something that we really want to do. We're so willing to do that, and we need your help and support. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Marlin?
I share Maria Macon's passion to prevent youth from getting into trouble, and if they do get into trouble, to provide a way out. I want to continue the care that we've given in the community for the last 29 years. We've changed drug watches to neighborhood watches. We've changed T-shirts from skull bones to white dresses and suits that the kids wear in church as ushers. We have changed the disease rate, and Betty's Ford Road was one of the highest sexually transmitted disease rates in the city. We've changed, we've removed rats, the two-legged kind and the four-legged kind. We've also planted herbs and flowers in the place of weeds. And we have changed the value of health care so that youth can be expunged, they can go to college now, they can own their own homes now, and we just want to thank you. And City Manager, I especially have seen tremendous changes in the last 3 years as far as police support, riding bicycles and motorcycles to combat, to change the gang scene. So thank you so much, and thank you for continuing support for the Council of Elders, because it's a precious thing. I heard somebody comment, well, it's only one person or it's only 300 people, but that makes a difference. You multiply that by 4 in a family, and what do you have? Thank you so much.
Lastly, I want to mention just one thing lastly. Alex Haley said that if in fact you see a turtle on a fence, you know that someone had to pick him up and put him there. So I want to introduce you to the people that hold the turtles of the Council of Elders, and I'd like for them to stand, please.
They are all standing. The camera can,
And that's just a few, and they all are committed to working on this. Thank you so much for allowing us to speak tonight.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for what you are doing in our community. We really appreciate it. And I think we see the I Am Homicide.
TV star.
Our TV star is here, too. But we really appreciate what you do. And how can people get involved if they're interested?
Through our Community Relations Committee, they'll be able to connect people. And it's just one of the many outstanding programs by our Community Relations Committee. I appreciate your letting me share this with you tonight. But even better is helping young people get their records expunged. Even better is keeping young people out of jail. And if we want to really move the needle on economic opportunity, these efforts are critical. I truly appreciate the grassroots commitment that is being shown by our Council of Elders. Thank you, Mayor.
Sure. Councilmember Isel, you want to comment?
I just wanted to make a comment also how grateful I am that members of the community have gotten involved to solve this problem of people not having choices when they get out of jail and helping young people to avoid going to jail. The federal government is considering legislation for criminal justice reform, which we applaud, and it will result in many offenders being released from federal prison. The big problem with this legislation is that it's not doing anything for the communities where these people will come back to, and that's what's so important, are the services on the front end and in the back end. So thank you for what you're doing.